Condition 1: Sharp mind. Maintaining mental sharpness in old age. One of the most essential things that elderly people who live long, healthy lives can do is maintain a sharp mind. The ability to discern, to see the truth clearly, is a gift that becomes more precious as we age. In Buddhist teachings, wisdom is like light, it illuminates the darkness of ignorance. It allows us to see through the illusions and temptations that surround us. More importantly, it keeps us from falling into the traps of deception. Think of historical figures like Socrates or Leonardo da Vinci. Socrates was known for his wisdom, not just for his intellectual rigor but also for his ability to ask the right questions. Even in his later years, when his physical body began to show signs of aging, his sharpness of mind remained his most powerful tool. Similarly, Leonardo da Vinci, in his later years, continued to create art and inventions that would shape the future. Both these figures, much like many who age with grace, understood that the mind is the true source of vitality. They didn't rely on their physical appearance or strength, they relied on their ability to think deeply and clearly. A personal story. Take the example of Alan Turing, the brilliant British mathematician and cryptanalyst, who, despite facing mental health struggles and living in a difficult time, never let his intellectual acuity fade. In his final years, Turing continued to work relentlessly on the concepts of artificial intelligence, a field that would later reshape the technological landscape. Even as he faced adversity, his mind remained sharp, showing us that the pursuit of truth through intellectual clarity doesn't diminish with age. I also want to share a story about a Buddhist monk I once met, who was 90 years old. His mind was incredibly sharp, his wisdom profound. One day, he overheard a conversation between a vendor and a customer. The vendor was trying to deceive the customer into buying an overpriced item, claiming it was rare and precious. The elderly monk, despite his age, immediately saw through the scam. He stepped forward, pointed out the vendor's false claims, and helped the customer avoid being tricked. This was a beautiful example of how, when we keep our minds alert and aware, we can see through the deceptions and illusions that often cloud our judgment. The lesson: when you cultivate mindfulness and wisdom in everything you do, you're not just protecting yourself from being deceived, you're also ensuring that you live with integrity and clarity. Living with a sharp mind doesn't just prevent you from falling into traps, it empowers you to make better decisions, to navigate life with more peace, and to live longer in accordance with your true values. It's a reminder that your mental capacity, more than your physical ability, is the true source of longevity and fulfillment. So, don't allow distractions or the inevitable aging process to dull your intellect. Continue to seek wisdom, to challenge your thinking, and to stay engaged in the pursuit of truth. Your mind will thank you for it. Condition 2: Physical vitality and strength. Maintaining physical health in old age. Just as the mind needs sharpness, the body requires strength and vitality to sustain the life we want to lead. The body is not just a vessel, but a tool that supports us in living an engaged and meaningful life. While age inevitably takes its toll on the body, maintaining physical health is still very much within our control, provided we cultivate habits that nourish it. The Buddha emphasized the importance of mindfulness, not just for the mind, but for the body too. In fact, one of the central aspects of Buddhist practice is maintaining the balance between body and mind, as they are interconnected. Consider the example of Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest and most successful investors of all time. Despite his advanced age, Buffett still maintains a robust routine. He exercises regularly, eats mindfully, and practices habits that help him sustain his energy and mental sharpness. At 93, he continues to work daily with remarkable stamina, showing us that physical vitality, when cultivated with intention, can be preserved even into old age. A personal story. Take the case of John Glenn, the American astronaut and politician. At the age of 77, he became the oldest person to fly in space. Despite being well into his senior years, Glenn maintained an incredible level of fitness, mental clarity, and drive. His remarkable achievement is proof that when we invest in our bodies, through exercise, healthy eating, and proper care, we can continue to achieve extraordinary things, regardless of our age. I also recall a story about a Buddhist monk I met during a retreat. He was 85 years old. Yet he walked briskly, carried out his daily duties without any assistance, and continued to practice intensive meditation. I asked him how he managed such vitality at his age. With a gentle smile, he replied, "A body in balance supports a mind at peace." He explained that through daily walking meditation, a balanced diet, and proper rest, he was able to keep his body strong, thus supporting his mental clarity and spiritual practice. The lesson: maintaining physical health is not just about looking good or staying young. It's about having the strength and energy to live life to the fullest, to engage in the things that matter most, whether it's working, helping others, or simply enjoying the company of loved ones. Physical vitality is the foundation that allows us to continue our spiritual practices and personal growth. In Buddhist teachings, the body is seen as a temporary vessel, but it is also sacred. We are taught to care for it as we would care for a precious object. The way we treat our body, through nourishing food, mindful movement, and proper rest, directly impacts the way we live our lives. By focusing on strengthening our body, we ensure that we don't just live longer, but we live with the capacity to continue doing meaningful work and contributing to the world. Even as we age, take care of your body, and it will take care of you in return. Condition 3: Emotional resilience. Cultivating emotional strength and resilience in old age. Emotions, like the weather, are constantly shifting. As we grow older, we inevitably face more challenges, loss, and grief, which can test our emotional resilience. But how we respond to these challenges defines our ability to navigate the latter years of life with grace and peace. In Buddhism, we are taught not to be led by our emotions but to observe them with equanimity. This is an essential skill in maintaining a peaceful and fulfilling life, especially in old age. Consider Nelson Mandela, who, after spending 27 years in prison, emerged with a calm, compassionate heart and a deep sense of forgiveness. Despite the immense suffering he endured, Mandela chose to focus on healing, unity, and reconciliation instead of resentment and anger. His ability to transcend bitterness and approach life with a calm heart made him a global icon of emotional resilience. Even as an elderly man, Mandela continued to advocate for peace and justice, embodying the very principles of emotional strength. A personal story. I remember hearing the story of an elderly woman named Maya, a 78-year-old woman who had spent years caring for her disabled husband. After he passed away, she was understandably overwhelmed with grief. But rather than retreat into sorrow, Maya began volunteering at a local shelter for the homeless, offering comfort and support to those in need. Despite her own loss, She found that helping others not only brought her peace but also gave her a renewed sense of purpose. Her resilience was a testament to the power of channeling emotions into something positive. Similarly, I met an older monk during a retreat who shared that, in his later years, he encountered severe physical pain due to an illness. Yet, rather than lamenting his situation, he embraced his suffering with mindfulness. He told me, "Suffering is part of life. The more we resist it, the more it causes pain. But when we accept it and understand it, we can find peace even in the midst of hardship." His ability to accept and work with his emotions, instead of being controlled by them, allowed him to maintain an inner peace that many of us would envy. The lesson: emotional resilience doesn't mean suppressing or denying our emotions, it means learning to deal with them skillfully. It's about observing our feelings without getting overwhelmed by them. The ability to manage emotions in old age comes from years of practice, both in life and in meditation. When we cultivate resilience, we stop letting the highs and lows of life dictate our peace. Instead, we learn to find balance and harmony, regardless of what life throws our way. In Buddhism, the concept of equanimity is key to emotional balance. When we achieve equanimity, we understand that emotions are transient. They come and go like waves on the surface of the ocean. But deep within, we can remain steady, like the ocean itself. Emotional resilience is an essential component of living a long and peaceful life. When we can maintain emotional strength, we are able to enjoy our later years with greater clarity, grace, and joy. Condition 4: strong relationships and social connection. Building and maintaining meaningful relationships. As we age, we often face physical isolation, but emotional and social connections become more vital than ever. The Buddha taught that one of the foundations of a fulfilling life is sangha, or community. Having strong, supportive relationships enriches our lives in ways that material wealth or achievements never can. These bonds are essential not only for our emotional well-being but also for our longevity. Studies show that elderly people who maintain close relationships with family, friends, and community members tend to live longer, healthier lives. Consider Mahatma Gandhi, who, despite his demanding leadership role, maintained strong bonds with his family and the people around him. His life was built on service, and his deep connections with others gave him the strength to endure decades of struggle for India's independence. Even in his later years, Gandhi remained a central figure in his community, continually inspiring those around him with his wisdom and compassion. His ability to form meaningful relationships and foster trust and support in others made him a rare gem in the world of leaders. A personal story. I once met an elderly man named Richard, who was 84 years old. Despite his frail health, Richard had a remarkably vibrant social life. He was part of a weekly meditation group, attended social events with friends, and made sure to stay connected with his family. I asked him how he managed to stay so social at his age. He told me, "I've learned that being connected to others keeps me alive, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. We're social creatures, and without love and companionship, we become weak and withdrawn." His advice was a reminder that the energy we get from others is just as important as the energy we put out into the world. Similarly, I remember hearing about a Buddhist nun who, in her later years, dedicated her life to teaching the younger generation. She could have easily retired, but instead, she formed strong bonds with her students, providing them with guidance and love. Her community became her family, And by nurturing these relationships, she continued to feel valued and vital. She believed that a life of service and connection was the secret to staying young at heart. The lesson: strong relationships are not just about being surrounded by people, they are about building connections that nourish your soul. In old age, these connections become even more precious. They keep our hearts open, our minds engaged, and our lives full of meaning. The Buddha taught that when we give love, we receive love. And through loving kindness, we create a network of support that helps us navigate the challenges of aging. If we want to live longer, we need to invest in the people around us, nurture these relationships, and surround ourselves with individuals who support and uplift us. When you build and maintain meaningful relationships, you create a foundation of love and care that will support you throughout your life. Longevity is not just about the number of years you live, it's about the quality of the years and the depth of the connections you form along the way. A strong social network is a pillar of health and happiness, ensuring that we face life's challenges with a sense of unity and purpose. Condition 5: Positive attitude and gratitude. The power of positivity and gratitude in later years. Our attitude toward life plays a huge role in our overall health and well-being. Aging often brings challenges, but it is our mindset that determines how we experience those challenges. The Buddha emphasized the importance of cultivating a positive mind. He taught that our thoughts shape our reality. And when we cultivate gratitude, it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. A positive attitude can prevent us from falling into depression or despair in our later years. It can also help us maintain our health, as research shows that positive emotions contribute to lower levels of stress, better immune function, and greater longevity. Think of Sir Winston Churchill, a man who faced enormous challenges throughout his life, from political struggles to personal health battles. Yet, he maintained a remarkable optimism, famously saying, "The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty." Churchill's positive outlook, even in the darkest times, played a crucial role in both his success and longevity. Despite the years of pressure and physical strain, his optimism kept him resilient, helping him navigate the complexities of life. A personal story. One of the most inspiring stories I've heard was about Grace, a 75-year-old woman who had been through numerous hardships, losing her spouse, dealing with health issues, and facing financial struggles. Yet, Grace always had a smile on her face and an unwavering positive attitude. When I asked her how she managed to stay so cheerful, she told me, "Each day I wake up, I remind myself to be grateful for what I still have. I choose to focus on the good, even when things are tough." Gratitude is the secret to peace. Grace's approach to life was a clear example of how focusing on what we have, rather than what we don't, can transform our experience of aging. Similarly, I remember meeting a retired monk who, despite suffering from chronic pain, maintained a deep sense of gratitude. He explained, "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Every day, I thank the universe for giving me the opportunity to live another day, to learn, to grow, and to serve others." His gratitude didn't make the pain disappear, but it helped him face it with a sense of peace and acceptance. The lesson: a positive attitude and a practice of gratitude are two of the most powerful tools we can use to ensure a long and fulfilling life. The way we respond to life's challenges shapes our experience of them. If we approach life with gratitude, we can transform even the most difficult situations into opportunities for growth. When we focus on the positive, we invite more positivity into our lives, creating an upward spiral that leads to greater joy and fulfillment. Buddhism teaches us that our minds are like gardens. Whatever seeds we plant will grow. If we plant seeds of gratitude and positivity, we will cultivate a life filled with peace and happiness. As we age, we may face more difficulties, but our attitude toward those difficulties can make all the difference. By embracing gratitude and positivity, we not only enrich our own lives but also spread peace and joy to those around us. A grateful heart is a youthful heart, one that continues to thrive no matter how many years pass. And there you have it, the 9 keys to living not just longer, but better. In your golden years. These practices, rooted in ancient Buddhist wisdom, show us that age doesn't have to be a limitation. Instead, it can be a time of growth, deepening wisdom, and fulfillment. By nurturing your mind, body, and relationships, you're not just increasing your years, you're enriching them. I hope you found inspiration and clarity today, just as I have. Remember, it's not about how old you are, but how alive you are, how sharp, how healthy, and how connected to the world around you. Life is a journey, and it's never too late to begin walking it with a renewed sense of purpose. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with anyone who could benefit from these teachings. And don't forget to subscribe to Buddhist Balance for more content that will help you live your best life. Until next time, stay mindful, stay grateful, and keep walking the path of balance and peace. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Buddhist Balance. If you're tuning in today, then you're in for something truly special, something that could change the way you view aging and the journey of life itself. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live not just longer, but better lives? They seem to defy the odds of age, staying sharp, healthy, and mentally vibrant long into their later years. And what if I told you that there are specific things that you can do, even as you grow older, to not just survive, but thrive? These aren't just random tips. They are rooted in ancient wisdom, especially the teachings of the Buddha, and supported by modern science. In this video, we're going to explore 9 essential practices that can help you maintain vitality, purpose, and a sharp mind well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. These practices have helped countless people, including remarkable figures throughout history, live lives full of joy, peace, and strength, regardless of how many years they've lived. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. So, if you want to learn how to stay vibrant, emotionally resilient, and mentally sharp as you age, hit that like button, subscribe to Buddhist Balance, and make sure you stick around until the end, because we're about to uncover some life-changing truths